Hi there, guys, and welcome to A Dash of Sports, the Premier League show. This is the show where I give you all your recaps, your reviews, your previews to all the matches throughout the week on a weekly basis. It's car settings right now. It is hot out here. I'm not complaining. I'm not one of those ones that complain. I'm really enjoying the weather. I'm out and about, but I just thought to myself, you know what? I can't let this day pass without coming onto the show today. Now, it's been an exciting week of football. The Premier League is back, up and running. And I don't know about you guys, but I've just felt like this week has gone super slow. Super slow. Now, I'm not trying to wish away my time or anything like that, but it's just gone real slow. Now, for those that have supporting teams that won, you're probably excited to see your next game. Those that obviously lost, some of you right now have been itching to watch your team play again because you're just like, oh man, all of the banter that's been going on. And that's basically what I've missed as well throughout this preseason, the banter, everything. And this is what I was saying in the last show, like when Arsenal were up first. If Arsenal lose, it's going to be crazy over the socials. So I was so happy that we won. And I'm looking forward to seeing Arsenal play again. This time they're going to be at home against Leicester. I'm going to be going through the games that are up and coming for this weekend. But before I start, let me just do a bit of housekeeping. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button, comment, and help me to get these subs up. I truly appreciate your love and support with that. And if you've not checked out the main show itself, A Dash of Sports, that's where I give you all your sports news, hot topics, and trending stories. I just put one out the other day, episode 57, the road to 100 episodes. That's my baby right there, and I'm just glad to be doing that again. And yeah, man, football is back. Now everybody's been itching to watch Premier League football, and I'm one of those. And just to go through the scores from the last week, so match week 1, we had some incredible games. Some fixtures, I don't know, it was a bit hard to predict. I didn't do any predictions for last week, but I'm going to do some predictions for the games that are coming up this weekend. So just obviously checking up the results for the last games that were played. So Friday, that kicked off the Premier League season. Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Many would have said that would have been a really tough game for Arsenal to go into. Another curtain raiser for the season. Arsenal winning that 2-0, an incredible game that was a really hard-fought game. It was goals from Gabriel Martinelli and an own goal from Mark Gay, which obviously sealed the win for Arsenal. So happy days for me as an Arsenal fan, and for those fellow Arsenal fans as well. We didn't get all the bants on social media. And then moving on to Saturday's games, it was Fulham 2-2 with Liverpool. I don't think many would have saw that. Very difficult game for Liverpool. They showed a little bit of lacklusterness, slow out of the races. Fulham obviously shown how competitive they're probably going to be this season, especially after what they did in the Championship, playing very good football. Mitrovic causing Liverpool problems. This is pretty much the first time that we saw Van Dijk even, getting twisted here and there and getting beat. But look, before I go into any other games, just to say that this is the first game of the season, so there's a part of me that just wants to kind of just chill a bit and just look from afar, but you can't help but get excited by these games. Bournemouth versus Aston Villa, that was Bournemouth 2, Aston Villa 0. Then going on to, actually, who scored? Let's go through the scores as well. Who's the scorers? So you had Jefferson Lamar and Kiefer Moore for Bournemouth. Then moving on to Leeds versus Wolves. This was a hugely contested game. Some arguments between the managers. He then afterwards, was like, oh yeah, it's all handbags and stuff like that. I do apologize if you're hearing any noises in and around because I've just parked up and yeah, man, I'm just chilling with the breeze coming in through the windows. So Leeds versus Wolves, that was Rodrigo and an own goal from Aitinuri. Yeah, so Leeds 2, Wolves 1. Then moving on to the rich bags who have not really flexed their muscles in the transfer window right now. Newcastle versus newly promoted Nottingham Forest. Newcastle, Fabian Schär and Callum Wilson, scorers in that game. Comfortable win for Newcastle. Then going on to the heavy hitters of the opening games of the Premier League season. Tottenham versus Southampton. Now, Tottenham going down 1-0. And I thought to myself, oh, come on. So, you just watch it, you're thinking just, all right, go on, Southampton. James Ward-Prowse. I'm surprised no one's actually tried to move in for him in the transfer window. Ward-Prowse has scored, and then, man, Tottenham just started opening up the floodgates. Goal from Ryan Sessegnon, Eric Dyer, then an own goal, a ridiculous own goal at that. From Mohamed Salih, was it Salsu? And then Kulusevski scored also, so that made it 4-1. A real opening statement from potentially, a team that many are saying that could, if there was a team to rival the top two hitters, City and Liverpool, Tottenham are the ones that are being touted to be in that team. So they really started off the season great. Everton versus Chelsea. Frank Lampard playing against his former team. Everton losing 1-0 at home. Noah's way early. But with the added pressure from the back end of last season, obviously not doing so great, surviving literally by the skin of their teeth. And then obviously going into the opening day, losing 1-0. Chelsea with Jorginho scoring a penalty. And yeah, that basically, in the way that Chelsea have started the season in regards to the transfer window, we're hearing that there's many players that are coming. Oh, apologies for that, phone is ringing at the same time. Chelsea doing their thing right now, winning 1-0. So moving on to here we go, back. Apologies again, once again. Just quickly just going through Sunday's games. Leicester versus Brentford, that was 2-2. Goals from, let's just check it out here, Timothy Koskane, and also Dewsbury Hall, and also Ivan Toney and Josh Da Silva for Brentford. So that was a 2-2 draw. Then moving on to Man United. Man U. I didn't think I had to use that voice note, that video so early on in the season, opening week, but it got drawn out for Man United 1 at home, Brighton 2. So Brighton winning at 2-1. Goals from Pascal Gross, 2 goals from him, and then an own goal from Alex McAllister for Man United. Listen, like I said, it's way too early to be commenting on what's going on with teams. The transfer window is still open, but no team is exempt from the banter. If Arsenal would have lost that first game of the season, goodness me, you lot will be coming for our necks. But yeah, Man United losing. Ten Hag, obviously, welcome to the Premier League. It's going to be a tough job. And then moving on to Erling Harlin's opening display to the season. The cyborg himself with his 2 goals. West Ham versus Man City. Man City winning 2-0 away from home. Very convincing. At times it was just like, yo, what's going on, man? This just looks like a pre-season game or anything like that. And Erling Harlin, man, showing that he's arrived. And I will go on in regards to the whole Erling Haaland and Darwin Núñez, the matchup that's been going on. So that's going to be very interesting to see. But that was the week in itself. So like I said, if your team lost, then you just had to wait a whole week to rectify that. And if your team won, you're just excited and itching to watch your team play. Like I said, Arsenal winning, and I just want to see the likes of Jesus and Chenkos and all the rest of them. Saliba, man, Saliba, what a display. Many have obviously would have said, a lot of Arsenal fans wanted him to play last season. He went out on loan and showed a really, really good display of himself against Crystal Palace. So that will be another player that I'll be looking forward to. But let me know what you think. Put your comments down below. How did you feel about the first game of the season? Did your team win, lose, or draw? And what did you think of your team watching them for the first time this season? Moving on quickly onto the Erling Harlin and Darwin Núñez. This is pretty much the it's crazy like how they're being put together, but at the same time you understand it, innit? Because Liverpool, Man City, Liverpool are touted to be going for the league title this season. But both are Premier League debutants. Both are now, experiencing the Premier League for the first time. But you still got the likes of Kane, Salah, Son. Those are probably the main big hitters, and then you got the likes of Gabriel Jesus that you could put in the mix with your Núñez and Erling Harlins. But I understand in regards to the debutants, so it's going to be very interesting to see. Both have started the Premier League season very well. Darwin Núñez scoring when he came on for the first, he came in for like 15 minutes or so. Very impactful sub. Came on, scored. Now, if you didn't watch the game and you just saw like, oh, Núñez scored and he assisted, it's a bit of a. I was discussing this earlier on today, and I was just like, yo, obviously I know that Núñez scored and it showed that he assisted, but it was a bit of a miscontrol for his assist. But all in all, listen, he made an impact to the game, and Liverpool managed to draw the game 2-2, although they would have been highly disappointed to have dropped points so earlier on. He's showing that he's capable to blending into the Premier League. First game of the season, but he came on and he looked very, very lively. Erling Harlin, yo, what can I say, man? My boy Semps, you already know, like I've always wanted, this is Semps from Views TV official. I've always said to him, man, I've just always wanted to see Erling Harlin in the Premier League. And we've always had this debate about, like, I've always said, like, yo, he should go to Man United, But he made a very, very valid point. I think in this Man City team where they just create so many chances, this guy, Erling Haaland, the cyborg, he is going to revel. He's just going to be like, I can imagine him sitting there and just think to yourself, how many goals can I actually get in this team? But if he went into a team that's not really creating as many chances, he probably could, struggle a little bit. Only because it's like, if you feed him, if you get him going, he is going to bang a lot of goals. So going to be very, very interesting to see who's going to come out on top in terms of the top goal scorer. Is it going to be Erling Haaland or is it going to be Darwin Núñez? Let me know what you think. Put your comments down below, and and how many goals as well. Give me your prediction on that. And also, if we're just looking at all the strikers, because you got the likes of Mitrovic as well, who was banging in goals in the Championship. Is he going to be able to take that form and bring it up into the Premier League? Who's going to be the Golden Boot winner next season? Who's going to be the top goal scorer? Let me know. Put your comments down below. I'm going to give my prediction on that on the next show, where I'm going to be talking more in regards to like predictions for the season. And like I said in the last episode or the last show, don't be afraid, guys. Don't be afraid to take time to kind of analyze a little bit and make a prediction, because it's a very, very long season. I'm not saying that I'll make a prediction like halfway. And even so, you might want to change your mind. There's no rules in it. So, but for me, I like to take my time, especially I like to see the first games of the season, just see where the teams are at, and then be like, all right, cool. This is where I see the teams going to finish. Last show, I did give a prediction, but I did also mention that's how I see things. Yeah, so I'm going to give you a revised prediction. So yeah, put your comments down below. Let me know who's going to be the Golden Boot winner, and then also who's going to be top goal scorer between Erling Harlin and Darwin Núñez. Now, before I go into match week 2, give you all the roundup of games, and I'll also give my score predictions. The transfer window is still open. Yeah, we're hearing a lot about the likes of Chelsea potentially being able to get the likes of De Jong, Aubameyang, Fofana, all of these players, man. If they add them to the ranks, they're definitely going to be pushing for that title, being title contenders. But what more do teams need to do, man, to try and push themselves? Like I'm thinking about like Arsenal now. Arsenal definitely need to bolster in the midfield. You got like the likes of Man United that just probably just need to bring in a few more quality players. Midfield is definitely a place where they need to bolster as well, because the McFred situation, once again, we're going into a season where we're just hearing a lot of Man United fans complaining about the McFred combination. Do they need a striker? Is Ronaldo going to stay? Is he going to leave? We're still maybe a couple weeks away from transfer deadline, so you never know what could happen in the last day or so. Last season, you saw like the likes of Aubameyang, and if you've watched the All or Nothing documentary, at 10:59 p.m., that deal between Arsenal and Barcelona was pushed across the line. So these things can go down to the wire in regards to the players that you need in or out of your squad. So it's going to be very interesting. Will Tottenham bolster their squad? Liverpool, we're hearing Jurgen Klopp at the moment saying that he doesn't think that they're going to add to the squad at the present moment. So it's going to be very interesting to see. So, you watch your team play in the first game of the season. By the time we get to the second or third, the players that you had might not be there. And this is what I liked about last time when the window just closed at the start of the season. You don't need to be worrying about players coming or going. Like, for example, Arsenal are going to be playing Leicester, and there's rumors about Yuri Tillemans and all that kind of stuff. So if Arsenal plays Leicester and then the following week Tillemans, transfers over to Arsenal, it's just like, man, your player's gone. That happened to Arsenal as well. If you remember back, it was Arsenal played Liverpool, and the following week, Oxlade-Chamberlain left. So it's going to be a bit of a weird one. So keep your eyes out on the transfer window. Keep your eyes out on your particular teams that you support. Just teams in general, and see what the transfer movements are going to be. Any ins and outs. So it's going to be really interesting to see. So I can't wait to get to that transfer window. At this point in time now, I'm a person, I like to see my team do their transfer dealings from early. Right now, I'm just like, man, if there's no real interesting players or your team are really actively in the transfer window, I just want this window to be done. Hey, if you are not able to get the players that you was able to get, then just lock it off now, man, because I can't take it every morning or evening trying to see all of these transfer social media guys, giving us all the information, all the journalists, the in the know people. Oh man, I can't take it, man. So let's just see. I am still hoping, fingers crossed, that we get a couple players, but if we don't, then it is what it is. Okay, so moving on to the games coming up. So let's go through the fixtures. So starting on this Saturday, we've got Aston Villa versus Everton. I can see this going one way, and it's Aston Villa to win. I'll probably say 2-0 to Aston Villa. Moving on to Arsenal versus Leicester. This is a big game. Arsenal at home front of their home fans. Looking forward to seeing Gabriel Jesus and the rest, Saliba. I'm going to go with an Arsenal win. I'm going to say 3-1 Arsenal. Brighton versus Newcastle. This is going to be a game. Both teams coming off the back of a win. But I'm going to go with Brighton. I'm going to say Brighton 2-1. Man City versus Bournemouth. Listen, there's only one way I'm seeing this. Although Bournemouth are coming up, and sometimes you get these championship clubs, newly promoted clubs are going to give it a go. But Man City, man, listen, this is going to be a field day for Erling Harlin. So I'm going to go with a 3-0. I was going to say 4. In fact, I'm going to go with 4-0. 4-0 Bournemouth, 4-0 Man City. Then Southampton versus Leeds. Southampton, Leeds, 2-1 Southampton. Wolves versus Fulham. Oh, this is going to be a tough game. 2-2. Desmond, RIP. Desmond 2-2. Brentford versus Man United. This is gonna listen. The bookies right now just know if you bet or you gamble, the bookies are saying that Brentford are tied to win this game, and I'm not going to go against that. I don't gamble, but I'm not going to go against that, and I see Brentford winning that game. I'm going to go for a Brentford 2-1 win. This is going to be the later kickoff on Saturday. The previous games are all 3 o'clock kickoffs, and this one will be the 5:30. And then moving on to Sunday's game, we've got Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. Off the back of West Ham losing, Nottingham Forest, I'm not too sure what they're about at the moment. Like I said, first game of the season. So I'm going to give this to West Ham, being, the more experienced Premier League side. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for West Ham. And then Chelsea versus Tottenham. Now, this is going to be a tough one. Tottenham obviously bolstering their team with the signings of like Basuma, Perisic. They're looking very, very good. They've still got the front three from last season: Son, Kane, Kulusevski. They've also added Everton's player. What's his name again? Just skip my mind. I'm sure you lot put in the comments anyway. So there, Richarlison. There you go. Yes, Richarlison's just joined their ranks as well. So it's going to be very interesting. And then you've got Chelsea. Obviously, they've signed a Koulibaly, Sterling, but I just feel like they're missing that spearhead. If they had a striker, the likes of Aubameyang are being, rumored to be going there, but they're not going to get him in time for that game. Chelsea have a very, very good record over Tottenham, no matter what. So I am going with a 2-score prediction. Yeah, bear with me. Chelsea, I can see them either winning 2-1 or 1-0, but definitely a Chelsea win. No matter how good Tottenham looked last game against Southampton, I just feel like there is a bit of a hoodoo, there is a bit of a block there when it comes to Chelsea. But yeah, I'm going with either a 2-1 win Chelsea or 1-0 win Chelsea. All right. And then finally moving on to Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. This is a later kickoff on Monday. On the press conference that Jurgen Klopp had, they were talking about how he felt about having a later kickoff in regards to the weather. It's been very, very hot. And, Jurgen Klopp was just saying, listen, it's going to benefit both teams. It's not an advantage for Liverpool. But I think for both teams, if anything, they're going to be able to have that cooler match, a later kickoff. So should be interesting for a good game. Liverpool definitely got to come out the blocks in this game because they were very, very slow, a bit lethargic a little bit. and only kind of got going once, they went behind or so. So let's see if they can start this game on the front foot. Crystal Palace played very well against Arsenal, to be fair. Arsenal did dominate the game first 20 minutes or so. But then once Crystal Palace got a hold of the match, they did very well. The atmosphere is going to be crazy there. You've got Crystal Palace fans, obviously they come with their bunch, and then you got Liverpool when it's at home. You already know, man. Arsenal know about all that too well. We're playing You'll Never Walk Alone at their training session. So you imagine when it comes to Anfield, how loud that's going to be. And they're going to actually try and G up the team because they really need it, especially after their last game. A bit of a poor performance. But with all that being said, man, what games are you looking forward to? And then give me your predictions in regards to like the whole fixture list itself, or if it's just your team in particular. Let me know what you think about my predictions. You think I'm right or wrong in it, and then we'll be able to then catch up on the next show and see whether or not I did well with my predictions. With that being said, I'm going to leave it there for today. It was just a quick one. Whilst I'm in the car and that, I got to get about doing what I need to do for the day. And let me know, man. Put your comments down below in regards to everything I've just spoken about today. And also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I truly appreciate your love and support, man. And go and share the links with your friends and your kinfolk and all of that. And also, don't forget the main show itself, A Dash of Sports. That's why I bring you all the sports news, hot topics, and trending stories. I got episode 57 ready for you lot to watch. That's out right now. And episode 58 will be coming very, very soon. And with that being said, I truly appreciate your love and support. Until the next time here on the Dash of Sports, the Premier League show. Peace.